Okay, MMA House on MMA Block and MMAville. This is all fighter friendly videos, nothing disrespectful. Now, I want to key in on this Dan Hardy situation because honestly, I was, whenever I seen Dan Hardy announcing fights and commentating fights again, I was actually surprised because I thought he was fired already. Now, apparently, that wasn't the case. Apparently, this was a warning from Dana and not a firing.
And you approach a judge or a referee or any type of official, I will fire you. You will lose your job. You will never work for me again if you do that.
Okay, so I thought he was right then and there. We wasn't gonna see Dan Hardy again. I thought he was out of there, but apparently not. And I just did not like the way that I've never seen anybody approach a ref the way that Dan Hardy approached Herb Dean when he got in his face and he was screaming at him, being very, very disrespectful. Let me see if I can find it. But it was just cringy to watch. And I ended up watching this video with Dana that I just played, and I was like, oh, okay, well, he got fired for that because it was very unusual behavior. I was wondering how it was going to be handled initially, and apparently Dan Hardy was not fired. He was just given a warning, and it's all good because it's not like I want to see him lose his job. But again, I just was very, very bothered by the way that he got in Herb Dean's face, you know, because I haven't seen, I have not seen a level of disrespect, blatant disrespect towards a referee since I've been watching this. And I've been watching for a long time. This right here, Herb Dean's walking back to his spot, and Dan Hardy catches him, and he's just being very disrespectful. You know, I haven't seen this type of behavior on display towards the ref, as I've mentioned. So it threw me off. Now I hear Dana say this directly following that incident, and so I was like, oh, okay, well he's fired. And then a few fight weeks later, I see Dan Hardy, and I was like, wow, I thought he would never work for them again. But this was apparently just a warning. And now Dan Hardy is fired for something completely different, which apparently Dan Hardy wants to get a fight. Dana White is not very interested in it. And in my opinion, I don't think very many fans want to see Dan Hardy fight. It's not that Dana White necessarily doesn't want to see him fight, because at the end of the day, Dana White is a businessman, and if the whole bunch of fans rally up and want to see a fight or want to see a particular fighter, he usually makes it happen. For example, Ben Askren. I don't think Dana White cared to see Ben Askren fight, but there was just a rave for him. You know, there was a demand. There's no demand, as far as I know, for Dan Hardy at this time. He's 38 years old. Okay, 38 years old, Dan Hardy. He's lost 4 of his last 6 fights. His last fight was in 2012, and we're currently in 2021. So that's almost 9 years ago. Now, yeah, I agree with Dan Hardy on the point that he made about Dana White not being a fighter and not understanding the mindset of a fighter. That is true. That is fine, and that's okay. It's all good. But Dana White does understand business, and he does understand promotion. And where is the promotion for Dan Hardy? Like, who who is he gonna fight? His last title to fight, his last and only title to fight in the UFC was all the way back in 2010, which is 11 years ago. Okay, March of 2010. We're in March of 2021 right now. So this is 11 years ago, and that was against George St. Pierre. The only so the only person from the George St. Pierre era that people still want to see fight really is George St. Pierre, especially in that welterweight division per se, um, because of the way he went out. You know, he went out on top. The reason people want to see Glover Teixeira fight at this age is because he's been active. He's on a winning streak of 5 fights and a 5 fight or so active winning streak. Um, Daniel Cormier speaks for itself. Why people still wanted to see him fight when he was 38. He was still fighting. He was a champion. Okay, at that time. The few fighters, they're already, if you look, they're already cutting guys. They're cutting guys that are Dan Hardy's age. They're getting rid of those guys. El Star Overeem, Junior Dos Santos, both guys I would rather see fight before Dan Hardy. Okay, Yoel Romero, I'd rather see him fight before Dan Hardy any day. Um, Corey Anderson. Okay, these are guys that have been released, and these guys are active and very relevant. Uh, Corey Anderson was the number 2 contender at the time when he was released, I believe. Number 1, number 2 contender, something like that. He was a top 3 guy in contendership. L Stars he was almost on a 5 fight winning streak if he would have not taken that shot from Rosenstruck at the end of the fight. You know, um, Junior Dos Santos. Come on, he's a Hall of Famer. Like we got, they're going in a new direction. They're getting away from fighters who are active and old. What makes Dan Hardy think that UFC is going to schedule him fights, and he's not? He's inactive and old. You see what I'm saying? They're getting rid of guys who are active and old. Why would they keep an old guy who's inactive and has not been active in 9 years? Okay, like, come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. You another thing. I think Dan would have been good in this era of fighting. I think he would have been very popular, in my opinion. But come on, Dan. We get it. And if you really want to fight, go find another organization. You know, try to get in Bellator or something like that. But the UFC, man, I really, really, don't think that there's a lot of people, a lot of fans who are raving for Dan Hardy, who would pay to see Dan Hardy in a pay-per-view or main event something or anything like that. If he's on the card, I'm sure we'd watch it. I would watch it, but it wouldn't be something that would make sense for me. I would be like, wow, it would feel odd, you know. So I just wanted to make that clear. Like this is exactly um what the UFC should be doing. They should not be looking to get Dan Hardy in the octagon, in my opinion. I just don't see the sense in it, especially after when you look at the list of the guys that they've already let go in this past 6 months or so. You look at that list and you compare Dan Hardy to those guys. I just don't think it would make any sense. Okay, so that's my spiel on that, and let me know what you think. MMA House, MMA Block, and MMAville. We keep it real.